Welcome to Rhino Exploration. My name is Zach. Today we are out here in Colorado exploring many of the trail systems that are out here, and just check out the beautiful mountains behind me. So today we're out here, we're going to be checking out some of these trails, so stay tuned. So this journey began at the Honolulu International Airport, where we then departed from Hawaii and headed to Denver, Colorado. This was a straight through flight. We flew on United Airlines. Unfortunately, this flight turned out to be one of the worst flights we both ever had. It was a red eye, thinking we'd sleep that night, but we didn't sleep a wink. But Denver did not disappoint the next morning with the sunrise in the background as we went to get our rental car. Once we had our rental car, we stopped over at Snooze on the southern edge of town, and it was wonderful. If you guys have never tried Snooze before, I highly recommend it. I had their breakfast burrito. It was fantastic. And Lindsey had one of their pancake combinations, and it was so good. The combination of my savoriness from the burrito and then the sweetness from the pancakes just helped to kind of give us a little more spirit into our really groggy morning. Once we left Snooze though, we jumped back onto the freeway heading south to Castle Rock, as that is where my good buddy Spencer lives, and that is where we connected with him. Stage in our journey was Roxborough State Park. Spencer recommended this to us, and so we went out there to check it out, and it was breathtaking. The red rock, it was so gorgeous, and just the way the rocks protruded out of the ground out towards the Rocky Mountains, it made for such a beautiful sight, and we thoroughly enjoyed our short hike. It wasn't super long, but our short hike through, and there was just so much to see and a few lookouts along the trail that we took. We even ran into some wildlife along this hike, which made for an epic adventure that day.
Show up.
I think it's more for people's safety because of what's the
Endless content here.
That's fantastic.
actually thought about what kind of clouds I like the most. I don't know. It made me contemplate. Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah. I don't know what kind of clouds I like.
So if you guys haven't noticed by now, I get a little silly with the camera. I like showing off all my friends that are hiking with me and on this adventures, and so I broke up the camera, made Spencer a little awkward, but I had a blast shooting this film. So here we have an overview of the trail below and the park, and just all these rocks protruded out of the ground. They kind of look like fingers reaching towards the sky, and just they're scattered all over this area. And just below here you can see the trail, and we'll eventually walk on this towards the end of our hike. But it was so cool to just get that overview and just see how luscious and green it was, and how it just moved through the rocks of this park. It was absolutely spectacular. So no trip comes without some kind of difficulty, and on this particular hike, my gimbal that I use with my phone and for the camera decided it wanted to act up. Sometimes I'm always in a constant fight with this gimbal, but it decided to act up, and it was kind of irritating a little bit, but Lindsey sure caught the moment perfectly as I came
You're
off
not
the
gonna even
trail
say
with it.
hi?
Hi. I'm fighting with something right now that's pissing me off, that's why.
And they do a Brussels sprouts toast where they're candied
Oh, yes.
with pancetta, pecans, and then they put them in like a caramel sauce almost. It's
So about a mile, maybe just over, into this trail, we came across this old homestead that they have preserved and kept as close to original over the years as it's been, and it was pretty cool to check out the signs, which I'll show you here in just a second. We also got to see our first furry friend here shortly. Alright guys, check this place out. Got a nice old settlement around here by Henry Purse. This is really cool. It's kind of like his old settlement. That's the house right down there. It's tucked up in this valley, and it is just absolutely gorgeous here. And just imagine waking up every day with those rocks behind you. All that red rock. Absolutely fantastic. Alright, my buddy just waved me over. He's over by the house. We're gonna see what he found so we can take a gander. So let's go check it out, guys.
There's 2 bears.
No, they went down though, so maybe
Yeah.
they'll see them pop up. Do you think that they would come up this way?
I think if we keep going down the trail, we might be able to see it from this side.
I can totally picture this.
This is kind of inside the house, guys. Can't see a whole lot. Can't go inside. You can see some old furniture, the old wallpaper. Pretty cool. So as you may have heard, Lindsey and Spencer point out that they saw some bears on the back side of the house. There were some bears. They had descended into the tree, so I couldn't catch it on film. But here in just a second, we come to find that there was more than just 2 bears down by the house. In this tree, you see those branches shaking? That's not the wind. There were 2 black bears hanging out in this tree, eating acorns. And here in just a second, I'm going to show you them. You can kind of see them poking their heads in and out. I had to switch to my phone to zoom in a little closer. But it was really cool to see these bears just munching away, having a grand old time. But on this hike alone, we ran into 5 black bears, which is extremely rare according to the ranger station. We told them about it afterwards, and they said that it's really rare to see 1 black bear. We saw 5 of them within the span of 15 minutes. So it was a really nice present from nature to see them just in their natural habitat. If you guys have never been to Roxborough State Park in Colorado, I highly recommend you go. It was a beautiful piece of nature that has just been well preserved and backs up to national forests, so there cannot be any building all around it, and it is just so gorgeous. The fee was $10 for a car to come in, guys, and that money just goes into helping to preserve the park. So I highly recommend you go.
What's next?
So from here, we ended up going back to my buddy Spencer's house for a while. Waited for his wife Stacy to get home, and then we went out on our next adventure. So this is still all on the first day that we've been there. It was jam-packed full of fun. But we ended up going out, getting some food at a place called Crave.
Awareness.
If you haven't gone, go. By far the best burger I've ever had in my life. It was so good. I had a bison burger, and it was so great. But speaking of bison, we ended up going to a Bison Preserve after dinner, and it was so pretty. Just got to see bison just roaming naturally. They're not there for any other purpose but to hang out, and the sunset, it didn't disappoint. Thanks for watching, guys. This is just part 1. Next week, be prepared for part 2, so stay tuned for a sneak peek.